Welcome to the Vendetta Effect.
And welcome back to the Vendetta Effect. And let's start by introducing our players, starting with Devin.
Hey, I'm Devin, and I play Mason.
And Webby.
Hey guys, I'm Webby, and I play Doc.
And M.
Hi, I'm Em, and I play Sawyer.
And Rob.
Hey, I'm Rob, and I play Spencer.
So, here's a quiz. Did anybody remember what we did last time?
Did we fight some people?
We split the party.
you're just running through ideas now.
I remember I touched a gate and an alien went into my brain.
There you go.
Yes,
That's
there we
closer.
go.
Wait, that
Yeah.
happened last episode? I thought last episode was when they went to New York.
Nope, that was the one before that.
Oh, alright.
Yeah. No, this is one where you guys went to the Sinai.
We all died. That's
And
what
you
happened.
met up with the portal to Shul. And you had a bit of a chat. At least one of you did.
The lies you tell.
The lies I told.
Oh yeah, wait a second.
No.
No.
I have a note here.
Oh, he does.
Nope, not you.
No, not you.
Also, need to do a general checkup and mental examination to Spencer. Non-evasive.
Evasive or invasive?
Invasive, my bad.
Webby can also not talk to me.
Non-evasive. It means you tranquilize him first.
Ooh. I mean, hey,
Non-evasive is just against his will. That's all that means. That is the
Whatever
only thing
works,
that
right?
means.
okay, so getting back to where we were, it is now, we skip forward a bit. It is now early 1957. You guys are in the office. This is about I want to say 6 months to a year after the last thing you guys did. And, you've been through different adventures at this point and things have happened as usual. But there is, okay, who's this going to come to? Okay, which one of you has skills or knowledge or anything? Okay,
That
so I
rules
know
everyone out. Right?
I know-
that line rules everyone out.
I know Spencer has like cipher knowledge and things like that, but does anybody have like specific area knowledge that you've learned? Like, you know how like different spy agencies have like different areas they cover, like some groups cover, like they'll have different departments, some that cover like Middle East, some will cover Asia, some will cover Russia,
You mean,
all
like,
that kind of
different
stuff.
Bureaus that we
Yeah,
already have?
yeah.
Yep.
That's right. There you go. So, yeah. So, which one of you cover Middle East, do you think? I will let you decide if any of you do.
I don't think any of us do. I mean, it would probably be somebody under the African Bureau, right? Or the Asian. Or Chinese, I mean, sorry. Southeast Asia?
No.
That's not
Well,
right.
it's none of these guys here. That's the thing.
Okay.
How much time has
Yeah.
passed?
It's been over a year. So, Bradford comes to you, M,
Okay.
and says, do you remember the incident with that clay monstrosity in New York?
Yes.
Well, there's rumors going around that there may be something to that. I realize it's been a couple of years, but and he hands you a folder and he says, just as a refresher, here's some of the information we got on that at the time. And he says, I might need you and a team to go investigate Iran because one of the CIA guys ran into a bit of an issue out in the desert near Tehran.
Can you explain exactly what this issue was? Because we've had some issues out there too.
Specifically, they ran into, And he opens up the folder and points to a document which is handwritten.
Okay.
And the handwriting is hard to read because it's kind of shaky.
Mm-hmm.
And
like really scared, or like they are
something.
drunk, or...
Well, he looks at you and he says, "As far as we can tell, he legitimately was terrified."
Okay.
In his testimony, and I realize it's hard to read. They also recorded it, but this is the only
smoking opium or anything like that out there.
Not that we're aware of. Any drug use typically has to go through doc. And at that point, those people are usually pulled off of mission. But he kind of hums a bit and he says, well, bluntly, this man says that he was attacked by a group of these statues.
I mean, we weren't able to stop it at all, so... From what I recall.
Well, regardless, it's
So I'm not
weird,
shocked.
it's unusual, it kind of fits the category that we deal with here.
Yeah, not
So-
exactly the CIA.
No. Well, let's put it this way. Palmer was involved in that one, and he had at least a broken arm. So, and from what I understand, even he was shaken up.
Yeah.
So I would suggest having a chat with your group and taking a team out to deal with this. It sounds like if they can't deal with it, we're going to have to.
Yeah. All right.
And when you're
Perfect.
done that, I have further a bit of an infiltration process I'll need you to do to probably carry out after that, depending on how long this takes.
Okay.
So at the end of the mission, I will send an agent to meet up with you guys.
I feel bad doing this, but I'm going to go try and find Spencer first.
Sounds like a plan. Just come to me when you're ready, or go see Zed, and I'm sure he'll have some things for you.
Spencer's just by far the best at everything, basically. Everything relevant, anyways.
Nice.
I just... Like, anything truly weird, he's, like, the only person who has, like, stuff with that. I mean, Doc is pretty good, too. And so is Mason and everybody. Everybody's fantastic. It's just... I don't know how to read Hebrew, and we'll probably be having to do some Hebrew reading, and I don't know if he knows how to read Hebrew, but I assume he does, because he knows every language.
Bradshaw pats you on the shoulder and says, okay. And just kind of gives you a look like, sure, I'm sure he's great at everything. Yeah. Anyway, keep me updated when you get there.
I will have you know that Doc is sitting at the Soviet bureau desk, and every time the phone rings, he just picks it up and hangs it up while he eats a sandwich.
Nyet! And hangs up.
Learning beneath me. Hang on the phone.
Nice. Okay, so, right. So we'll say Tabby goes and looks for Spencer. Spencer, what are you doing at this point?
I mean, he'd be in his office, just trying to research what these keys might be. So he's going over all ancient records of types of keys that are important.
Okay. One thing you get from that is that from a mythological standpoint, or from a storytelling standpoint, you're pretty sure that keys can be sort of, they don't necessarily have to mean physical keys. They can be like the key to winning a race or that kind of thing, where it's like a metaphor. Mm-hmm. And you're pretty sure that there's some sort of knowledge that you need to glean in order to get this key.
Okey-dokey.
But that's as far as you've been able to get with it.
And then Tabby walks in without any pants on. All right.
Yep, Tabby walks in without pants on. And everybody goes, wow, Tabby, come on now. She just has a skirt on, that's all. See? She can get away with it.
Yeah, exactly. They're used to wearing a pantsuit or something, but...
Yeah, today she's wearing a skirt. It freaked them out.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what's going on? Okay.
Oh my. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Am I supposed to be saying anything?
Well, I don't know. You
I
said
mean,
you were going to go.
you walked in and you just kind of stared.
Pause for Webby.
Tabby, very nice legs.
She's going to say, "Okay, I need your help or somebody's help. We have a CIA agent who was attacked by a gang of golems in Iran. And if anyone is interested, would they like to go with you?
The thing you fought in New York.
Mm-hmm. A big old gang of them. I don't know how many.
I mean, sure, I'd love to go. I'm sure Doc wants to come. He didn't get to see the original one since you guys kind of left us here. But sure.
Exactly. Well, then, let's get Doc. I mean, why leave Mason out of it? I could use another gun.
Well, with Mason, you get lots of guns. But yeah, I see your point.
I meant metaphorically, not literally.
Well, you also literally get lots of guns.
Mm-hmm. All right, then.
Well, I'll go ask one and you ask the other, I suppose.
All right. I'll go hunt down Mason.
Just took the easy one.
All right. Well, I'm going to pull out a jar of eyes and then whisper to this lady. Can you take this to Doc?
What, to her?
Yeah.
I'm literally 2 desks over.
I know, yeah.
Yeah?
So this lady stands up, walks into your office, grabs the eye. She has been there for a number of years now. She knows what's going on and just rolls hers at you. Walks out. And Doc, you see this this lady that you've known for a number of years. She's Chinese American from San Diego who has a background in martial arts and is also got a bachelor's degree in economics. And you know, for years and years, she's been feeling like she's basically working a dog and pony show while working for this outfit, and walks over to you with the greatest of sighs, opens her hand and sticks an eye in your general direction.
Oh. Miss Min, where did you get this eye? I take it.
She points back at Spencer's office and said, "Him."
Oh, interesting. Did he scream? I didn't even hear it. I didn't even hear him when you took it.
She sighs again and says, "I think he wants to see you."
Oh, well, he could have just come out here and asked, I suppose.
Yes, he could have. You're correct.
You understand your phone is ringing. You should probably get back to your desk. And Doc leans down and picks up his phone and hangs it back up and just walks away.
She also knows you very well, walks over to her desk and ignores you. Spencer, Doc walks into your office with an eye in his hand.
Well, Doc, I see you got my message.
Mr. Harris, where's the jar that this belongs in?
I take the jar out of my desk.
I just plop it in the jar.
There's a faint pickled smell that comes out of it.
I mean, I gave her the jar. She took the eye out of it. I was very impressed.
Yeah, that took some courage. And an iron stomach.
I think she's been playing. Never mind. Go ahead.
No, what were you going to say, Doc?
Nothing.
You were right ahead.
Nothing.
Were you about to say the UT word?
What?
I don't even know if I know other than Utah. I don't know any other UT words.
Let's just leave that there. I have a feeling something non-PG is going to come in.
Anyway,
that's not...
Mr. Harris, how may I help you today?
Well, remember when everyone went off to New York and left us here to fight that weird clay man they gave you pieces of?
Yes, and then I drugged you. It's good times.
He's just like staring at you. Mm-hmm. Anyway, this time we've been invited to go see the Clayman. So, you want to go?
I suppose. Anything would beat trying to answer phones over on a desk.
Why are you out in the bureau area instead of in your lab?
He has another job.
Listen,
Besides just being a creep.
I am not a creep.
Spencer looks around. I didn't call you creep Doc. What?
Doc slams his fist down on your desk.
I can hear everything that's going on because I'm 2 tables over and I'm just commenting.
Yeah, and I can't hear you. He can't through the doorway.
Listen, Spencer, I've been here a long time. Don't ask me questions that I can't answer.
Well, I mean, you can't also answer a phone, so...
I'm more than capable of answering a phone, thank you.
Really? I had to send you an eye. I tried to call you like 3 times, and you just hung up on me.
Well, had I known it was you, I would have just probably ignored the call. Maybe. Anyway, we got off on the wrong foot here, Spencer. Oh, what is this? What is this nonsense about a giant clay man? When are we leaving? Just give me the specifics, man. I start slapping my hand in my fist.
It's a whole gang of claymen, from what Tabby told me.
What?
And I don't know when we're leaving. She didn't tell me that. She just asked me if I wanted to go. Probably, I know she's probably already gone.
I lean and I just look out the door as Tabby at her desk.
Yep.
Sawyer!
Is putting on a skirt.
I will take out my syringe. Sawyer.
Well, she's not muted, so.
I walk over. I pull out a rag. I say, Tabby, does this smell like chloroform? And I chloroform her.
Well, we'll find out what she thinks about that shortly, I guess.
Well, then I guess I'm also going to get Mason. So.
You literally just walked through a wall.
Why are you doing circles? I don't understand.
Too annoying, Devin.
Oh,
Mason is
God.
currently judging the structural integrity of his ceiling and see if his tie will hold.
Of the ceiling fan.
Yes. He's taking measurements and he's trying to make sure that it will hold his weight.
Mason, you want to shoot a bunch of stuff? It's kind of alive. Made of clay.
Sure. I'm not doing anything better.
So much
He
easier.
He starts walking out of the room and just slowly glances back to his ceiling. It's like, you're not going anywhere.
Until next time.
We'll do battle.
So
then.
much easier than talking to Doc.
I don't know. Doc's pretty easy to talk to. If you don't stop with the damn.
Why are you doing that anyway?
Spencer just walks out of Mason.
He said he got up and walked out too.
I did. I just didn't my character. He just doesn't stop with the.
So Spencer went and got both people.
Mm-hmm.
They'd like to know what time they're leaving.
Well, she's been chloroformed.
How about
I asked her if this rag smelled like chloroform, and I stuck it in her face.
Yeah, don't worry. I'm asleep right now. It's okay.
So when Spencer and Mason get here, Doc is very carefully. He's not a brute about it. He's putting her in a wheelchair, and
While you do that, you look over and Miss
Get my
Ming
trusty camera and Geiger
has got
counter.
a notepad out, and you can see she's writing in it and staring straight at you the whole time.
Ooh, dear.
Miss Min,
Yes.
I pull out a form and put it on her desk. You're gonna have to fill this out if you're using company supplies for personal reasons. Thank you.
I'm sure. And she continues to stare at you.
I'll remember this when next time you visit my office.
She smiles back and says, I'm sure you will. And I'll be sure to double check the amount of supplies you've been using lately.
Ooh.
She really grins ear to ear at that.
Okay. Doc just wheels
He
sort
just
of.
quickly moves away. Don't you tell me what to do. Count my stuff.
Oh, don't worry. Don't worry. I have plans for Miss Min now.
I love it. All right, so where are you going? You gonna go see Zed, or are you heading out?
Well,
The thing is, we don't know what actual time we're leaving or what we're supposed to be taking, and because Tappy had all that info. Sure, let's go see Zed.
Okay. You see Zed is standing over by a pillar, and he's staring at it intently. And as you walk closer, you can see him all of a sudden, like, you know how when someone's like stock stood still and they're just really super concentrating, and they're not even making a sound, like it's just so quiet, except for you guys walking towards them. And then all of a sudden, just out of nowhere, he goes, "Here!" And he swings his hand and hits this pillar. And you see the pillar kind of bend inward briefly and then flex back out again. And he nods to himself, picks up his notebook and writes in it. And then he finally notices you're there and he says, "Oh, how may I help you?"
Well,
Gentlemen.
that was pretty cool. What's that, Doc? Zed, not Doc.
He looks at you and says, "It is a new form of armor we're testing. It's early days, but it's a derivative of plastic, from what I understand."
Interesting.
And he says, "It has give, but it also means it can take impacts better than, say, a stiffer metal." And he kind of nods at you all. "So, again, what can I help you with?"
Well, we're off to fight some big clay men. Got anything that might be helpful?
Yeah. I very well could. He walks up to a cupboard. You see him grab a bottle, and it's a small vial, and he walks up to Tabby and he sticks it under her nose. And Tabby, you immediately get this very strong, sharp scent under your nose.
Ah! What was? Oh my! Oh.
Zed pats you on the back and says, "I see you've been under treatment of our
Dear
physician." Indeed.
Mm-hmm. Do you have a gun for me? Just a regular pistol?
Doc slowly backs out of the room.
I like how she just flat ignores the rest of it, just goes straight to the pistol. Certainly, I can certainly give you a pistol, not a problem. And
Thank you.
he goes off.
Don't worry, I shout at Doc through the door. Don't worry, it's not for you. Not yet anyways.
And he looks over at Mason while he, I assume, is grabbing his usual briefcase.
Mason was muted. Yes, that is exactly what's happening.
And he nods at you and says, "There is a couple of goodies I've left in that one for you if you need them."
Always appreciated.
Smiles and then says, "Yes, I think you'll find certainly some shells in there that may be of use." And then he looks at Spencer and says, "What are you looking for, young man?"
You got anything that explodes?
He kind of looks around. Yes. All over the place, and sort of points at various locked cages.
Something small that won't trigger warnings.
A pressure pen, you mean?
Yeah, something like that.
He walks over to a cage, he opens it up, and he looks at a series of boxes, kind of hums and haws and jangles a few of them around, and finally finds a small one. sets it gingerly down on the bench, opens it up, pulls it out, and says, here. And he hands you what looks like a ballpoint pen.
Mhm.
Hello. And says, this is laced with C4. You need to be careful with it, though. It does not automatically go off, obviously, as it is C4, but if you twist here, and he grabs where the cap is, and as you pull it off, it will be set on a timer. He says, however, if you just pull the lid off, it's just a regular pen.
Very cool, Zed.
He nods and says, yes, it's, just remember, turn it clockwise before you pull it off if you want to set the timer. And you have 30 seconds from the moment you've pulled that. It will cause a small explosion, let's just put it that way. Anything else?
I give a little thumbs up for my wheelchair, which I still have not gotten up out of, and said, we're all good.
Excellent.
Thank
Your plane tickets, madame? And he pulls a small envelope and hands it to you. You'll be traveling military for the first while, but you may need a commercial jet in order to get into Tehran. So we don't typically send military people around there these days.
No. All right. Thank you very, very much, Z. I think we'll be out.
One moment. Her case for this is by my chair downstairs. Put everything into the case and then bring it all upstairs.
Okay.
Thank you. Sorry. Child being not very clued in. So, right. All right, so he hands you your tickets, lets you know that you guys are leaving in the next 3 hours, and hands you passports, which are British passports, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
And just basically says, don't say very much, please. Don't give yourself away that easily.
Just be quiet. All right, I think we can do that. We can just pretend we're all mutes. It'll be fine.
Certainly, I'm sure.
Mute in that tone of voice. That sounded upsetting. I apologize.
Mm-hmm. And
Let's get going, everybody. How do you
Pretend
guys
to be
feel?
mutes. That's my specialty. Hard look at the cam and smile.
ha 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 ha.
I don't even know why that was
Okay.
funny, but I guess it was.
Everyone else gets it.
It's Devin being Devin. All right, so
Okay.
ouch. Sorry, I'm just answering Webby on Facebook.
And John's dead.
And John is very dead.
Dead? I'm dead.
Now, famous last words. Ouch.
Oh no, I said I
Kind of
was.
a nonchalant ouch. Not even like a I'm dying ouch. It's like
Not quite. I said I was messaging Webby because he had a Facebook message for me.
if he said ouch.
And then I said ouch.
I
Yes.
heard that ouch. Those are your last words. Ouch.
Fair. Okay,
Kind of
so
twist this narrative, John.
okay, so there we go. All right, so you guys head out, and you will, it's the usual thing. You're basically flown from one spot to another until you get to London, at which point you hop a jet plane, which then flies you to Tehran. When you arrive in Tehran, there is a person waiting for you who is... oh dear, I just saw that. Sorry, I got lost because Webby just messaged me back. Okay, so there is a young person standing there who looks... he's kind of looks like for lack of a better word, like an Arab sheik, I would be almost the way I would describe it, which is a bad way to describe it, but kind of. Like he's got the big bushy beard, he's got the turban, he's dressed up very formally, and as you come off the plane, he walks up to, probably walks up to Spencer initially and says, Sir, I have message for you.
I think somebody is muted.
He is muted. Why is he muted? Rob, are you muted?
Oh, sorry. I thought you said you went up to Tabby.
No, he would not go up to a woman.
Ah, gotcha.
That would be a no-no.
What is he speaking English?
Yeah, but it's broken English.
Oh, Roy. Well, sure. Lead the way.
He said, I have a message.
Yeah. He's like...
Listen, neither of them speak English. It's perfect. No.
Are you
I mean,
sure
you're at least from an English language country.
Yeah, come on, Spence.
Lead the way. He looks at you awkwardly.
I have a message. Lead the way. It's an audio message.
Oh, well, then, could you say it out loud?
Oh, my goodness.
he looks awkwardly at you, and
I lean into Spencer and say, I think he just wants to give you the message.
Yeah, he has a piece of paper in his hand.
Roy. Okay.
He hands it to you and just kind of looks at you sheepishly and then kind of weirdly and then walks away.
I lean into Tabby and I just whisper, my apologies. I obviously chloroformed the wrong party member.
Yeah, I think so, just a little bit. Tabby is trying visibly not to laugh.
You have chloroformed me.
Yeah, but not today.
Well, I mean, that might be
I just point at Tabby and nod. I just point at Tabby and nod.
That could be why you messed up my brain, dog.
Your brain's fine, says my lab results.
Says my lab results.
I'm gonna look at the piece of paper.
Okay, there's a note from the head of the local Iranian police force, special police, basically, and it says that that you can meet up with your contact, whose name is Ali bin Jacob, in the edge of town, and it kind of gives directions on how to find it, and he will give you a ride to the location that this CIA was trying to investigate.
He's gonna reading a. Well, he could have led the way. Whatever. I'll start heading that way.
Okay. You guys make your way out of the airport and head towards the edge of the city by a cab, I assume. As you do, you come to an area where there's a gentleman. He's got a large 55 Cadillac, and he nods at you as you get out and says, are you my contacts from Shush?
Well, it depends. Are you Alibaba Jacob?
Alibaba Jacob. He doesn't look kindly at you and says, I am your contact, yes. We are going to take you to where your colleagues ran into trouble, if you are prepared.
I believe we're prepared. I mean, what do you know exactly what it was? We heard there were some kind of large clay things.
Well, from what I understand, they're saying statues came to life and attacked them. They were gibbering, from what I understand. One of them was out of his mind when he got back. At least two were dead. One had at least a broken arm that I could tell, and a couple of others had been knocked unconscious.
Is the one with the broken arm still here?
No, he apparently went back to the USA. But, that's as I understand it. They
So
were
he's
called
gonna look.
back.
Yeah, he's gonna look around at the other three and say, if they don't say anything, he'll just say, "Well, I guess you better take us where they were then."
Indeed. And he says, pile in, and gets into the front driver's side. Unless there's anything you guys want to do, we will move on from there. Hearing nothing.
We're getting into a
Let's
plane,
just
right?
continue.
Nope, into a big Cadillac.
Oh.
Oh.
Why'd you call the guy a pilot?
Yeah.
Cruising
Nope,
down
not
the
a pilot.
highway in a big old Cadillac. It's so hard.
What the? All right, sure.
Okay.
It's from Adventures in Babysitting. Watch the movie.
Oh.
Oh,
It's
man.
awesome.
I love
Oh
that.
man, I've
movie.
seen the movie. Why do I not remember this?
That's where she had to sing to get through
I've
the
never
club.
even heard.
Oh right, that was the blues bit. Right,
Yeah.
gotcha.
I've never even
Gotcha,
heard of this
gotcha.
movie.
It's from the 80s.
It's before your
Okay.
time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's before
about
your
20
time.
years before my time.
Well, now I feel old.
Well, I mean,
To be fair,
Edit
it's
that
before
out,
my
Ed
time.
Quist.
To be fair, it's before
yep.
my time, and I know the movie. So there you go.
And I was about to say, M was born between my two oldest boys, so yeah.
Although, honestly, if I had to recommend a movie, I think you'd enjoy it. Just watch it.
Yeah, it is a good movie.
Awesome. That's great to hear.
Lot of fun.
I'm going to mention something to Mason as we're getting into the car. Once everybody else is in, I'm just going to say, security out here is very lax. They could have just pulled up to anybody and just said, "I'm your informant or whatever. Are you my lead?"
Yeah, honestly, that would be bad. And
They
something
didn't ask for
anybody
identification.
with a
anything.
sense of adventure would say, "Of course," and get in the car. So you know, I think they're banking on people just don't want to do that.
What if we're those three ones and we didn't ask for their identification?
Yeah, we might actually be in trouble, you guys.
I mean,
What if they're the guys we're here to spy on?
I like our odds.
I'm sure that they described us because I'm sure that the four of us stand out compared to the people that are normally around the area.
Listen,
Yeah.
that is not an Australian accent, Mr.
at all.
Edquist.
I would say that
I have a quick sidebar. John, this is by my request. There
Uh-huh.
needs to be a female Russian doctor that is also like Doc. And then
Uh-huh.
every time like she one-ups him, he's just like Natalia strikes again.
Nice. I like, how
Like
you
every
got
time
known for this character.
she one-ups him or he one-ups her, it's like we meet again.
We meet again, Natalia. You never know. You maybe season 3. Who knows, right?
Touche, doctor.
Mm.
Ooh la la.
He pulls out the chloroform rag, she pulls out a needle and injects in his neck. Touche, Doc.
Oh god.
Love that first hypodermic needle.
Indubitably.
Oh no. Oh no.
That means there'd be little docs running around in the future.
Oh no. Oh, no.
Those are
No. Little Soviet docs, probably.
Probably. Well, no, they'd be Russian now. Okay. Anyway, moving on. All right. So, all sorts of non-PG things going through my head right now.
Okay.
Wait, can I just say, I think me as a PC, I have enough characters that have kids running around in various time zones, timelines. Okay?
Time zones.
Just saying.
People always skip me over. Have kids. and
Just
I'm
say,
like,
throw,
I'm fine with this.
throw
I'm
one
fine
at
with this.
Mason. He's
I have
Mason
a kid.
has
he's
kids.
the
He already has
I know,
one.
he's the
I have a kid.
Make him
Actually,
have more.
so does
Make
Spencer.
them sadder.
Yep, I have twins. They're teenagers now.
He never talks about father of
Never-
the year.
Yeah,
no.
You never talk about your
To
kid
be
either.
fair,
His work
Actually, I
and
do.
private life separate to keep his kids safe. You don't know
Actually,
that.
I do. I took off like 6 months to go spend time with my daughter in France.
Yeah,
there you
I
go.
talked about how I spent time with them during the break. You didn't talk about them during the podcast. I mean, during the actual like events, neither do I. But
Well,
Anyway.
either way,
You know what? Spencer
we
should
are
have
in
walked
a
off.
Cadillac. We are going to
Bye.
an destination.
All right. So, with that non sequitur, we head towards you guys head out towards the desert, into a sort of a rocky kind of outcropping. Kind of think, the point in Star Wars where R2 is in that, a canyon, for those of you that remember the movie.
Mhm.
It's kind of that sort of scene where it's very dusty and sandy, but it's not like sand dunes. It's more like a Southern American desert rather than a Sahara type thing. And he takes you to a cave system fairly close to the edge of a small creek bed. And he pulls to a stop and says, it was somewhere in there. There was something going on. We are not entirely sure, but I'm sure you can go have a look. Go investigate. Those kind of things.
Doc walks away towards the thing.
Okay. Rest of you?
I guess we're gonna follow Doc.
Okay.
I mean, I am.
Scarier words have never been spoken.
Yeah. Yeah, Doc is in the lead. This is
That's it.
fine.
Okay. Essentially the wrong spot. All right, this one.
Ruh-roh.
Alrighty,
Is that
so
the cave where we fought the Japanese robot?
oh no, not this area.
Oh. No, I mean the other one that you just showed us.
Oh, no, this is actually New
Maybe.
York. This is actually the museum that you guys were in.
Oh, okay.
Because that was that golem. Yeah, that was the one that we flashed by accidentally. Okay, so you guys enter this cave. It is pitch black.
Does anyone have a torch? And by torch, I don't mean flashlight.
I have a flashlight.
Oh, that's good.
I have a lighter.
I don't think that'll help.
Okay, so Doc has a flashlight.
I have
As
my
per
glowing
usual,
personality.
Tabitha, roll your...
I have night vision goggles.
I roll
Am
my
I?
what?
You do not have night vision goggles in the 50s. I'm sorry, that just ain't a thing.
Shush, John. We have unlimited budget.
You really have an unlimited budget. Roll clever, please,
Uh-oh.
Tabby.
A 2.
All right, you know that in your little case you also have a flashlight.
Oh, nice. So everyone and their mother pulls out a flashlight except for Mason.
He's like got the prototypical rock band appreciation device.
Yeah. Exactly.
I was thinking more 50 smoker, but we can go with that.
Well,
So I
that
pull out my
too.
flashlight and I do the thing where like I tape it on or whatever.
Okay, cool. All right, so you are.
So, John, just real quick, I
Mhm.
will have you know that night vision, infrared sensitive night vision technology was made in the 1929.
Ooh.
Oh,
So
yeah, okay, but how?
maybe
how
not like the actual
widespread was
like
it?
goggles, like headwear.
Yeah,
style,
that's what
but,
I was
like,
thinking because I was pretty sure those didn't come out till the 80s.
So what
You
you're
could
saying
still
Zed is
have, like, a
stupid.
scope.
So Zed's stupid. So what you're saying.
So Zed's
I mean,
stupid.
Zed is creative, pretty banana stuff, but
He's
clearly
He's not cutting edge. If that's what you're. I
No.
mean, clearly. I mean, he's clearly not cutting edge.
cutting edge is not 30-year technology. Mm.
Yeah. So sorry, Zed. I mean,
Sorry, Z, you got to get replaced.
Yep. I mean, unless John makes some kind of a clever roll for Zed on his end to see if he did in
Okay.
fact design some.
So to be clear, the first passive actual device that could be used was developed in the Vietnam War era.
Which is about 20 years in the future.
Yeah.
Well, it was field
Okay.
tested successfully in 1944 and 1945.
Yeah, but we're talking passive, which is when they take the light in. It's as opposed to like something that
Right.
presents. It's different than
Also-
what you're thinking of. Basically, is what I'm saying.
Also, night vision wouldn't work in like a cave, surely.
As there isn't a lot of light, that is
Yeah.
also a question. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Because
We
night
do have
vision, of course,
we
is...
do have flashlights.
Because
so
it
that's
detects a certain kind of light. doesn't
Yeah,
it?
but why would you need night vision if you have a flashlight there,
Flashlight.
Wendy? I mean, come on now.
I'm
You have a
just
flashlight
I'm
that
just
has-
saying that it was out there. Okay?
It was out there. I grant you that.
Okay,
It's just
I mean,
not
you could
not
use
in the format that
thermal
we're used to. There goes Spencer.
Spencer has
Okay.
left.
You could go
Uh,
drow and use thermal in a cave.
All right. Now, Spencer, as you move forward, okay, I did go that far. All right, so it starts out sort of as a what looks to be a hand-carved area. It's almost like steps as you go down. As you get to the part where you're at, it flattens out, but it gets a little bit rougher to walk on. And you notice a little bit more incline and out, like up and down. The plane of it isn't like surface flat. But if you... Okay, roll me a clever roll, please, Spencer. Okay. You will note that there are what looks to be cuneiform writing on the walls
Okay.
as you enter the cave. And do you guys continue to move forward?
Well, I'm going to ask Spencer if he can read it.
I don't know. Is cuneiform based on any of the languages I know?
What languages do you know? And I'll tell you.
Let me bring up my character sheet because I have them written down. English, German, French, Russian, Spanish, Japanese, Coptic, Anawa, Hebrew, Latin, and Navajo.
How do you know Anua? So, no.
Because I've been studying their language from the pieces we found.
Fair. You don't know the language yet, though. But
No.
either which way, no, it is not based on that. Coptic is based on a ancient Sumerian vocabulary.
Sorry, you
That,
got it completely
And then I
wrong.
will shake my head now. I can't read it, Doc. It's not a language I'm familiar with.
I thought you knew everything.
I was waiting for that.
You poor child.
as you
I'm
get
what,
to
in my 50s now? Like, 30s,
not
40s?
50s,
Is it-
30s.
Is it all over the wall, John, or is it
Or
in
maybe
like
40s,
one
yeah.
section of the wall?
It starts. You can kind of see that it starts maybe a foot off the ground and goes about 5 feet high. Basically, kind of the normal, from somebody kneeling down to them standing up.
Okay.
And it's on both sides.
And is it carved in, or is it like written on the wall?
It is carved in. If it had been written, it would have been gone. By now.
I'm going to take out a piece of paper
Mm-hmm.
and like my pencil, and I'm going to do that like
Kind of an impression thing.
where and then I'm just going to put that aside so that way if Spencer wants to learn it later, he'll have something to go off of.
And there's plenty of resources on cuneiform at this point. Although I don't know if that was in the 50s.
Oh, yeah. Cuneiform had been translated back in the... I think it started to get translated at the beginning of the century when they found the Rosetta Stone in the 1800s, and they started to translate various things. But then there was something similar to that they found actually in Iran, which helped them translate this. So, yeah.
Cool. Thank you for the history lesson.
The more you know. Yeah, sorry. All right. So, anyway, you get to a turn... and things again kind of look a little bit rougher. And you see some of the cuneiform starts to change and look a little bit more advanced would be the word. Because like cuneiform, for those of you that don't really know, looks like kind of a thumbtack type look. And depending on kind of the order and how many there are and kind of the position of them determines what they mean. Whereas you start to see what look like hieroglyphics and some that look more like the Coptic language that you're used to, Spencer.
Okay.
So they're sort of like halfway between a written language and hieroglyphics at this stage.
Can I use my cipher to try and figure out what it's saying?
You can make a roll. Very nice. You can figure out that it says something about the night is a protector, the night is a keeper, it wears like a blanket upon those that should not move.
Interesting. So I will repeat that to the others.
Doc will
very-
cautiously work his way down the hallway.
Okay. It is very narrow here. It is basically just shoulder width apart as you walk forward. And the ceiling appears to have been chipped out with something very primitive. And it is only about 5'5" high. So anybody taller than that has to bend over.
I am what, 5'6"? Just have to crouch a little bit. Just a little crouch.
Just a little bit of a tilt forward. Everybody else has got to go. Especially Spencer. I think he's the tallest of y'all.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's 6'1".
Clearly being she looks at everybody and whispers and says, "Clearly being short is the superior option."
Nice.
Except that you can't reach the cookie jar in the break room.
Ooh, ouch. Okay, so now
I will fight you, Spencer.
Wait, Spencer, have you been eating the cookies out of the cookie jar in the break room?
I've been getting them for Tabby. That's how I know she can't reach it.
Doc writes something down in his notebook.
Nice. So as you get through this area, all of a sudden everything widens out and you see a very large room. There are pillars down the center of the room that touch the ceiling about 15 to 20 feet above you. It is much more elaborate. You can see that there are colorful inlaid items which look like gold and silver and that kind of thing on the walls, and then they're painted beyond that, but the painting is very faded, of what looks to be different mythological figures, you would say.
Can I take out my camera and take some photos?
Yeah, sure.
Awesome.
So some look like demons, one looks like it has a dog's head, and they appear to be fighting these magical humans, which in one case, one is running, and it's shown to run in a speedier pattern. Another one looks like they have a large sword, for lack of a better word, coming out of their hand. Another one seems to be firing beams of light out of its face at them. And these monsters appear to be fighting back. And one shows like a human being crushed in its hand, and another throwing bodies of humans into a river. And of course, this is all sort of a static side painting. It's not like an elaborate kind of 3D depth to it or anything. So it's very hard to kind of figure out what it's trying to say, other than, it's sort of telling a story.
After Tabby takes pictures, Doc's going to take out several individual vials out of his case, and he's just going to take little scrapings of the metallic substances and the paint. So that way he can kind of determine what they are and possibly how old.
And as you do that, Mason, roll me a clever roll, please.
Sure thing. Let me go.
Mason, all back there, back of the bus, back near the entrance.
Tabby, you want to cover these pillars in your blood again?
Clever roll. Here it comes. Here's being strange. There we go. That's better. First close up here and then do this.
Oh my god, I was muted. Tabby says definitely. I will totally take that knife.
As you're doing that, Spencer, you see what looks to be a podium at the far end, which looks to be like an altar table.
I do, or Mason does?
Mason does.
Over where exactly from here? There's a lot of music outside my window.
Right where Doc is standing, just sort of in front of him a bit, in the center there.
I pointed out. It's a podium or an altar.
Why is that doing anything? Weird. Oh, that's why, because I'm a dumb.
I
Yeah,
would
that-
say it.
That right there.
We
I
can't
see
see
nothing.
that.
I can't
It's
see
Okay.
black.
How about that? Does that work? Doesn't seem to be
I
doing
see
anything.
nothing.
You have to reveal the area to us.
Oh, okay. I thought it was revealed, but okay, sure. I may not have.
There you go. Almost. There's
Except
one
for that little chunk
one
there.
little-
There we go.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's like right. Huh. Now it's not doing it. Come on.
Okay, it's right there. Yeah.
There. Thank you. Sheesh. Okay,
We could see
so
your ping. We just couldn't. It was just in the black.
yeah, okay, fair. So the platform looks to be made of an onyx stone, which is somewhat surprising because it's a lot. It might also be made out of a meteor-like substance.
I'm taking a
And-
sample.
At the basin of it is what looks like it kind of has a sinking pool in the center of it,
Uh-huh.
and you can see that there's residue at the bottom of it.
Oh, I'll take scrapings of that too. All these
Okay.
samples.
Hmm.
Doc looks excited.
Mm-hmm. Are you trying to bleed on the pillars there, Tabby?
I am. I'm gonna bleed on the pillars, and I'm gonna walk up to the altar afterwards. If that doesn't do anything, I'm gonna bleed on that.
Okay, so yeah, nothing happens with the pillars.
Tabby, I was joking.
Oh, I thought we were doing a thorough investigation, Spencer. How dare you mock me? She's gonna walk up to the altar now.
Okay. As you drip a little bit of blood.
By the way, I'm cutting the back of my arm so I don't actually hurt myself or anything like that. It just stays.
Okay.
I'm going
All right.
to stop Tabby for just a second and say, whoa, hold on 1 second, Tabby.
Oh?
I'm going to pull out my notebook and flip to an empty page. Okay, go ahead.
Just gonna pour some blood on there.
Okay, as you do, you see it pool up and it kind of glows briefly for a second, and then it starts to drain. As it does, and it flows down the front of the area, Spencer, you will note that there is what looks to be something written in Hebrew.
Okay. I will move closer to look at it.
Okay, as you come closer to read it, it says, "Beware of the stone men." And then as the blood hits the bottom of the basin,
Uh-oh.
in front of you, a massive stone wall effectively starts to rumble, and it pulls up, and there's a gaping hole where that was, and space beyond it, which seems to continue forward.
I say, see, blood solves everything.
And as you do, we'll have to find out what happens next time.
Heck with that. Doc's running down the hole. He's running down the... I don't even know where I am anymore. He's going.
He
See
gone.
that? Doc went slowly down that hole, faster than a cannonball.
Very nice. All right. So with that, Em, where can we find you
You
online?
can find me at Father Orange on Twitter.
And Devin.
You can find me on Twitter at DMP_Pookie. Find me on Twitch every Friday with my main man, Webby, where we stream stuff at about 2 p.m. EST.
Yeah. Same name.
Who killed me?
Who killed me? Yes. And Rob.
You can't find me. I'm shrouded in a blanket of darkness.
Oh no.
Just like his soul. Webby.
Wow.
You can find me on Twitter at ConfessorX or Confessor_X, and you can find me on Twitch at twitch.tv ConfessorX.
And Webby.
You guys can find me down a hole as Jack's Forest Walker, all one word. And on Twitch at twitch.tv/DMWebby.
And every Friday on SU, China, step your game up. Japan's beating you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Indeed, we're trying to get to Russia, people.
All right.
I
Yes.
know why China's losing. Because you keep pissing off our Chinese correspondent lady, Webby.
Yeah, whatever. I'm not done with her yet.
You can put her off, so
Wow.
she's just
All right.
going home like, nope, not anymore. Take those views away.
All right. And you can find me at Linstead DM, and you can find everything we do at distractionsmedia.com. And you can find all the other great content we have. And until next time, everyone, take care. Bye.
See ya.
Bye.
I mean, I guess.
This has been a Distractions Media production. For more info, you can check out everything we do on distractionsmedia.com.